Welcome back to Miami Hurricanes on SI. My name is Justice Sandel, and with the recent reports coming out that nobody wanted Carson Beck back at Georgia, and he was the only suitable place for him was Miami, reports are starting to dispute that Georgia wanted him back. And even Alabama wanted him. Now, Alabama's losing their star quarterback to Jalen Milroe for him declaring to the NFL draft. But with Georgia, they had one of the worst offenses in the country. Not one of the worst offenses in the country. They had one of the worst wide receiver cores in the country. A lot of drop balls, the most drop balls in the entire country. And then you bring back Carson Beck, and especially what he wanted to do behind a very inconsistent offensive line, a decent running game. But compare that to what he has in Miami. Miami is just 10 times better for what he wants, especially coming in already stout offensive line who has most of its players returning, an impressive running game with Mark Fletcher Jr., even a Jordan Lyle who's starting to get his feet under him. And then even with a wide receiver room, C.J. Daniels is starting to come in, JoJo Trader, and a lot of other players that are going to be stout players. Ray Joseph comes to mind, even Elijah Lofton, who started to show flashes at that tight end position, even though Elijah Arroyo was also one of those star players coming out that Lofton didn't really get the chance to express himself as the star potential player that he can be. Carson Beck coming to Miami was always a suitable cause. Now, him going to Alabama or even UGA wanting him back just starts the development of how people were saying that, okay, nobody wants Carson Beck, so Miami's the only suitable place. That's just not true. People understand how valuable Carson Beck is. Before this season, he was considered the number one overall draft pick. He was considered a consensus QB1 before the terrible stretches of games that he had towards the end of the season this past year. People dropping balls, a lot of different other things coming up, people saying that he's a distraction too. But all this proves is that Carson Beck was none of those things. Carson Beck will continue to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country going into next season. And if he's able to improve in those little simple things as in not turning the ball over as much and just placing the ball where he needs to be, look, Carson Beck is coming into next season as QB1 once again. So